NewsBreak26 in southwest New Brunswick. I'm Vicki Hogarth. Here's what's happening in our part of the world. Canada has elected another Liberal government, this time under new leadership. Mark Carney will become Prime Minister after leading the Liberals to a minority victory just 6 weeks after becoming party leader. The former Bank of Canada and Bank of England governor won his seat in Nepean and vowed during his victory speech to work across party lines in the face of unprecedented challenges.
America wants our land, our resources, our water, our country. Never. But these are not idle threats. President Trump is trying to break us so that America can own us. That will never ever happen.
The Liberals secured just over 43% of the vote, narrowly ahead of the Conservatives, who had over 41%, marking the first time since 1930 that two federal parties have each surpassed 40% of the vote. Votes were still being counted in several closely contested ridings at the time of broadcast, making final seat totals still uncertain. In a surprise upset, however, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre lost his seat in Carleton after nearly 2 decades in office, but vowed to stay on as party leader.
We are cognizant of the fact that we didn't quite get over the finish line yet. We know that change is needed, but change is hard to come by. It takes time. It takes work. And that's why we have to learn the lessons of tonight so that we can have an even better result the next time the Canadians decide the future for the country.
The Bloc Québécois lost ground but kept party status. The NDP, on the other hand, dropped below official party status after a sharp decline, prompting Jagmeet Singh to resign following his defeat in Burnaby. Green Party co-leader Elizabeth May was the only Green to be elected. In New Brunswick, seats stayed the same, 6 Liberal, 4 Conservatives. In the newly redrawn St. John-St. Croix riding, incumbent Conservative John Williamson defeated former Liberal MP Karen Ludwig with 54% of the vote, in a race that drew over 72% turnout. Ludwig finished with over 40% of the vote. Speaking to CHCO at his victory party in St. George, Williamson urged a united approach after the election.
I do think that after tonight, Canadians are going to come together, and we will approach the U.S. President united. That's not to say we won't have our debates inside of Parliament, but I am confident that this country is going to negotiate hard with the President, and we'll have a united front when it comes to dealing with Donald Trump.
Ludwig, while disappointed, said she was proud of her return to politics and what her campaign achieved, adding that the election reflected a country grappling with the shared desire to protect its future, despite different perspectives on what that means.
It definitely demonstrated Canadian unity, and that Canadians across the country were pulling together and wanted to protect our sovereignty and our independence as a nation. But it was pretty divided, and I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done after the election.
With a minority government now in place, Carney will face the challenge of working with all parties to move legislation forward. The months ahead will test not only Carney's leadership, but also Parliament's ability to bridge the divide that this election has made so apparent. Yet the outcome also signals a renewed commitment among Canadians to engage in shaping the country's future in the face of adversity. Finally, one issue all candidates in the St. John-St. Croix riding strongly supported during their campaigns is the need for a year-round link between Campobello Island and the rest of the country. Currently, the island relies on a bridge to Lubec, Maine to access the mainland. With the tightening of the U.S. border and growing tensions in U.S.-Canada relations, island residents are facing increasing challenges when it comes to navigating the border. In response to these concerns, the New Brunswick Department of Transportation and Infrastructure is working with the island and the ferry service operator to extend the ferry season. The ferry will now operate beginning in May, offering a much-needed connection to the mainland before the summer months. While this earlier service will provide some relief, the ongoing need for a year-round link remains a critical issue that requires collaboration from all levels of government. That's all the news I have for you. For more stories and online exclusives, visit CHCO and the Courier online at CHCO.TV.
A news and public affairs production of CHCO-TV. New Brunswick's only source for independent community television.